Donald Trump's week from hell just got much worse, and boy does he seem low energy in this interview with Lex Fridman. Now, Donald Trump's campaign is in complete freefall, and it's only been made worse by every single media appearance that he gives, whether it's the National Association of Black Journalists, where he melted down on stage, or these different bro podcasts that he's going on and making a total fool of himself. Now, the last video I made was about Donald Trump tensing up and acting weird when he was confronted on Jeffrey Epstein. Go check that out. But there are a lot more moments throughout this interview where Donald Trump drops hints of authoritarianism, and I think they are worth pointing out. As always, I don't want to waste any of your time. Let's jump into it. All that I ask is that you leave a like on this video below and make sure you subscribe to the Mockler channel. In this first clip, Donald Trump is asked by Lex Fridman about the division in America, and Donald Trump's response, his answer, is to blame the other side for being radical. He acts divisive. It's so ironic. And just to refresh, if you don't know who Lex Fridman is, he is a bro podcaster, kind of like Joe Rogan, but less controversial. He's still definitely a Trump bootlicker. Don't forget that.
And it goes everywhere. As soon as I do it, it goes everywhere.
The country seems more divided than ever.
Yeah.
What can you do to help alleviate some of that division?
Well, you can get rid of these two people. They're terrible. They're terrible. You don't want to have them running this country. They're not equipped to run it. Joe, it's a disaster. Okay? And
a lot of substance there. A lot of substance.
Kamala, I think she'll end up being worse than him. We'll see. I think a lot's now, the convention's over with, and I see I'm leading in just about all the polls now. They had their little honeymoon period, as they call it. And we'll see how that all goes. Who knows?
He doesn't know what to say.
From my personal opinion, I think you are at your best when you're talking about a positive vision of the future versus criticizing the other side.
Yeah. I think you have to criticize, though. I think they're nasty. They came up with a story that I looked down and I called soldiers that died in World War I suckers and losers. Okay.
I mean, his rhetoric in public isn't much different or isn't much better when he compares the Presidential Medal of Freedom to the Medal of Honor. I mean, he's basically saying something similar.
Now, number one, who would say that? Number two, who would say it to military people? Nobody. It was a made-up story. It was just a made-up story. And they like to repeat it over again. They know it was made up. I have 26 witnesses that nothing was said. They don't want to hear about that.
Is it just me, or is he uniquely low energy in this interview? Very unusually low energy. I mean, he's always deranged, but he just seems tired.
Like she lied on McDonald's. She said that she worked at McDonald's. It's not a big lie, but it's a big lie. It's so, they just went and they checked.
So when Donald Trump is asked about election fraud, about him planting seeds, telling lies that there are millions and millions of widespread fake votes in different states, that is not a big lie. That is just questioning the results. But when VP Harris says she worked at McDonald's, that is somehow a big lie. And by the way, she did work at McDonald's.
And unless she can show something, they don't talk about, the presses are going to follow up with it, but I'll keep hammering it. But she never worked at McDonald's. It was just sort of a cool thing to say, hey, I worked at McDonald's,
And by the way, the reason that MAGA Republicans are claiming that VP Kamala Harris is lying about working at McDonald's is because she applied to work under a prosecutor one time, and in that job application, she left out the fact that she worked at McDonald's years before. Republicans dug up that application and said it is proof that she is lying. I want to play you another clip of Donald Trump being asked if he thinks that VP Harris is actually a communist.
There's a lot of people listening to this, myself included, that doesn't think that Kamala is a communist.
Well, she's a Marxist.
Her father's a Marxist,
That's right.
And she's
It's
advocating.
a little unusual,
She's advocating for some policies that are towards the direction of democratic socialism, let's say. But there's a lot of people that kind of know the way government works, and they say, well, none of those policies are going to actually come to reality. It's just being used during the campaign to, groceries are too expensive. We need them cheaper. So
let me just say really quickly, this guy is like walking a tightrope right now, trying not to offend Donald Trump while also trying to do his both sides stuff. Like, he's trying to say VP Harris isn't actually a Marxist because she's not. She wants healthcare for everybody. Yes, that is not what Marxism is. Marxism is a classless, stateless society where you remove all currency and everybody's equal and the means of production are owned by everybody.
let's talk about price controls, and that's never going to come to reality.
It could come to reality. Look, I mean, she came out with price control. It's been tried like 121 different times at different places over the years, and it's never worked once. It leads to communism. It leads
No, it doesn't, number one. Number two, keep in mind there are already price controls in place in many states that stop price gouging.
to socialism. It leads to having no food on the shelves, and it leads to tremendous inflation.
It's just
It's a bad idea.
whenever we use terms like communism for her, and I don't know if you know this, but some people call you a fascist.
Yeah, they do. So I figure it's all right to call them a communist. Yeah, they call me a lot worse than I call them.
They do indeed. It's just sometimes
It's interesting, though. They'll call me something that's terrible, and then I'll hit them back. And they'll say, isn't it terrible what Trump said? I said, well, wait a minute. They just called me. So
That is not how it works. This man is playing the victim. When Lex Friedman's face right here is like, is this guy serious? Am I talking to a real human being right now? Because Donald Trump is the one whose entry into politics was saying Barack Obama wasn't born in America, and now he's playing victim and whining. So after Donald Trump accumulated the series of losses throughout the week, he then sabotaged himself again in the most hilarious way possible. So in the process of trying to block the release of a movie about his life, Donald Trump only further boosted that movie into the mainstream. If you guys have ever heard of the Streisand effect, which says that if you try to censor or remove something from the internet, it'll only blow up even further. It's named after when Barbara Streisand tried to block images of her house, and those images ended up on every single magazine cover. So Donald Trump had his own Streisand moment when he sent a cease and desist to the team who created The Apprentice movie, and that team ended up getting picked up even further. This article reads, attorneys for Donald Trump have sent a cease and desist letter to the filmmakers behind The Apprentice in an effort to block its U.S. sale and release. It warns the team behind the film not to pursue a distribution deal, according to two people who have read the letter. But guess what? The team not only pursued a distribution deal, but secured it, and they are now releasing the movie nationwide. And I'm proud to announce that I am partnering with the creators of this movie to bring you an exclusive look, an exclusive deal. Take a look at Brian Tyler Cohen breaking down the movie and how clever it is.
We found the one thing that Trump really doesn't want you to see. There's a new movie set to be released called The Apprentice. I think you can see where I'm going with this. I've seen an advanced screening of it. This movie is amazing. It has Jeremy Strong from Succession. It has Sebastian Stan from, well, everything. It is so devastatingly good that Trump literally sent the producers legal notice to squash it to ensure that no one would be able to see it. And to be honest, that strategy worked for a little while. It had a lot of trouble getting U.S. distribution, but they found a distributor that has experience releasing controversial films, like Spotlight, for example. Only problem, they don't have the same financial resources as a major distributor. That's where we come in. Please help get this movie out there by visiting the Kickstarter in my link tree. That's in my bio. You'll be able to see an exclusive clip from the movie there. You'll be able to donate. Donating $25 means you can stream it after it hits theaters, which is what a movie ticket costs anyway. Donating $100 gets your name in the credits of the movie. But most importantly, you'll be doing your part to come together and defeat Donald Trump where he is most vulnerable. He wants nothing more than to censor this movie, show him what it means to value freedom. Kickstarter is in my link tree in my bio. Let's get it done.
Well said by Brian Tyler Cohen, and let me say, in this independent media sphere, none of us have outside investors, so we are all working together as one to defeat Donald Trump as a danger to democracy. Quote, the film is a fair and balanced portrait of the former president. The producers of the film said in a statement regarding the cease and desist letter, quote, we want everyone to see it and then decide. In the description below is a link to the Kickstarter. You can check it out. Donate if you can. If you can't, that's fine, but the link is in the description. Go check it out. And these paid partnerships with movies like The Apprentice helps me do more on-the-ground content, whether it's live streams of the DNC or debates at Trump rallies. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.